Hello everyone, back to today's second video on the 5-day forecast. You can find videos at here on the homepage. Just scroll down the page a bit and it's underneath the link out. There's also the written version. You get to that via a button at the top of the page. Starting off unsettled with quite a bit of rain around, but high pressure will be building in over the next 5 days. You're going to have a lot of dry weather, particularly the end of the week and into the weekend. High pressure will be really in control, but I'll let you check out 5-day forecast yourself, see what's going on. This is extending out beyond the 5-day forecast period, so we're going to look at the next sort of 7 to 10 days, and we'll also have a look at Beijing Climate Centre for the next 40 days as well, so quite a bit to cramming. I'm going to start off with a couple of pictures that have been sent to me. So this is from Mark Kinish in the Wirral. I think this was on Monday. Nice picture of a rainbow there for some pretty heavy showers that was going on around the Wirral on Monday. This is from Brian King in Inverness, and snowy picture yesterday morning across the northern part of Scotland. Quite a lot of snow up there. This is another one from Brian, proper snowy morning up across Inverness yesterday. And then this was posted in the comment box at Gazwovies today. This is from Aaron. I'm not sure where Aaron lives. It might be somewhere across northern England. Quite a bit of snow this morning, proper covering of snow. Aaron was reported this is the deepest snow that he's had throughout the whole of the winter on the 22nd of March. Thanks to everybody for sending their pictures through. Remember, you can email them to gazwovies@gmail.com or post them in the comment box at Gazwovies. We're always happy to feature them in the videos if we have the time. Right, this is the GFS temperature and precipitation ensemble chart for the next couple of weeks. The red line here is the 30-year temperature average in terms of the upper air temperatures anyway. Starting off right now, still a little bit cooler than average. This little cooler phase we've had over the past couple of days is rapidly running out of steam. By the end of the week and into the weekend, we're back solidly milder than average. And it looks like we're staying milder than average then through the remainder of March and into April. That's the 1st of April just there, looking pretty mild. To say the least. We have got rainfall coming up today, and we'll have more showers tomorrow, so we've got some precipitation spikes then. But after that, it looks like we're going into quite a prolonged dry spell, really, through the remainder of the week, into the weekend, and into next week as well. Lots of dry weather. Around the 1st of April, we've got some rainfall spikes coming back then. That's quite a way off, but it might just be the first sign, so early April, the Atlantic going to have another go at getting back in. But I say that's quite a long way off, and I wouldn't necessarily take that all that seriously. Essentially to the end of March anyway, we are looking pretty dry. Temperature anomalies are lifting up, so this is the temperature anomaly from the 22nd of March through to the 30th, and it's coming out a little bit above average, as it is for many parts of Europe, although Spain and Portugal, interestingly, are quite cold. So if you know anybody that's off down there in the next week, maybe a bit on the cold side. The precipitation anomaly is also a little bit wetter than average across Spain and Portugal as well, so it doesn't look very good in the next week down there. Most parts of Northern Europe are coming out drier than average. However, the British Isles generally is a bit drier than average in the next week as well, although they have got a slightly wetter zone there through Northern England. That's probably associated with today's rainfall more than anything else. After that, I think most parts of the UK will be going drier than average for the next week. So this is how GFS is seeing things for Sunday then. High pressure is sitting over top of the country. Lots of dry weather. We are bringing in a bit of an easterly wind to the south, but it's likely to bring more cloud and a colder feel through the channel on the south coast. But most places will have a dry and fine weekend with sunny spells, and this continues into Monday as well. Early next week, this takes us Tuesday 28th of March, GFS and high pressure still anchored there to the north of Scotland. So the flow coming around that is from sort of an east-northeasterly direction. It's not going to be a heat wave, but it will be pleasantly mild in the sunshine. We're beyond the equinox now, beyond the spring equinox, so the sun is back into the northern hemisphere. It means that the days are now longer than the nights, and so the sun will rapidly start to increase its strength from now on through to the summer. So anytime the sun comes out from late March onwards, it normally feels okay, really, even if the wind direction is not from a particularly warm source. However, at night, we do still run the risk of getting some frost over weekend into start of next week. This takes us to the middle of next week. High pressure still dominating weather to north of Scotland, so a prolonged dry spell setting up once today and tomorrow morning showers are out of the way. We run up towards day 10. This takes us to Friday 31st of March. And this takes us to day 10, which is Saturday the 1st of April. And you notice now we are reintroducing an Atlantic flow that's beginning to turn more unsettled. So that's a very long way off. And the way that high pressure just suddenly kind of breaks down and collapses looks a bit odd, really. But it may be that we get through to the start of April and things get a little bit more unsettled. ECMWF also showing the high pressure very close to the country on sunny activities into the start of next week. Loads of dry weather coming up. Always that easterly wind running around the side of the high pressure will mean that Eastern County particularly at risk of bringing in more cloud and a cooler feel off the North Sea, but lots of dry weather coming up to the middle of next week. And then we get through into the second half of next week and up to day 10, which is Saturday the 1st of April. That high pressure still going strong. It's weakening a little bit, allowing a slight westerly flow to come back to Western Scotland and Northern Ireland by day 10. But most places are still under high pressure. And that looks more like what I'd expect, really. I think the GFS is probably over the top in collapsing that ridge down. Normally it takes longer to break down a ridge of high pressure than the models, particularly the GFS, which is very westerly biased thing. So I would suspect up to around the 1st of April, we will keep high pressure quite dominant. Finally, just have a look at the charts from Beijing Climate Centre for the next 40 days. These are the 500 millibar heights broken down into 10-day periods. First 10-day period takes us from the 21st through to the 30th of March. And so the next 10 days that we've got coming up, lots of high pressure and ridging to the east of us. Bit of a trough down to the south, but essentially we are under a ridge, so the wind is coming in from an EC type direction. There's a lot of dry weather, and temperatures are probably fairly mild as well. The next 10-day period, which takes us into April, this goes from the 31st of March to the 9th of April, shows that we've got this big ridge sitting over the UK and many western parts of Europe as well. So the Beijing Climate Centre indicates that, if anything, the dry weather and probably quite warm weather strengthens into the start of April. We go through to the next 10-day period, which is the 10th through to the 19th of April, and still lots of anticyclonic influences. We begin to move that ridge slightly more to our west, so the flow's going a little bit more northwest to southeast, which could be a bit cooler and possibly bring some more unsettled weather to Scotland, but essentially still lots of dry weather coming up through that middle 10 days of April. And then we go through to the end of April, which takes us from the 20th through to the 29th of next month, when it looks like it's turning more unsettled then. The below average heights, which is low pressure, coming back to our west, and it looks like that's starting to break down the ridge with the flow going something like that. So we get to the last stages of April, and the signal is to turn more unsettled. That's a very, very long way off, and as you know, with these long-range models, they are rather unreliable. Essentially, it looks like we've got quite a lot of dry weather, very warm weather coming up into April as well. The temperature anomaly for the next month with Beijing Climate Centre from the 21st of March to the 19th of April comes out warmer than average. And the precipitation anomaly for the next month, this is the 21st of March to the 19th of April again, comes out drier than average. So a fairly warm and dry period continues. So far, it's been a very warm spring, of course. March, the central temperature for March is running around 3 degrees above average. Looks like this continues into April. So we could be on course for really quite a remarkable warm and fairly dry spring if this is set to continue as the model predicts. As you know, with these long-range models, they are unreliable. So just a snapshot really of what that model is showing today. If we have a look at it again in a few days' time, it might look very different. Coming back to the next week to 10 days. So we've got the rain today, and there'll be some showers left over from that tomorrow. After that, it's high pressure all the way into weekend and into next week as well. I think we're looking at a fairly dry and probably fairly pleasantly mild spell coming up into next week, and that should carry us through probably to the start of April. Right, that's all for now. Don't forget to check out 5-day forecast if you haven't yet done so. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.